Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yisrael and welcome back to Holodeck. Yes, Season 7 has hit Holodeck. It is now live. Testing is officially at least over. And this is the warehouse where the Romulans are storing all their worldly goods. Unfortunately, their vetting procedures weren't all that, so they're having a few problems with their new foreman. Yes, they hired a Ferengi. I'm tempted to say they deserve everything they got, but let's go and find out. You need to be rank 1 on the reputation system to get access to the warehouse. If I bring this up for a second, you can see that I have indeed got this, and I'm working on rank 2. Yes, plasma weapons. I'll admit to being a traditionalist in this regard. However, let us begin. So, it's a full away team, which kind of gives away the fact that there's going to be a great deal of violence on this at some point. And let's just dump the comms for a second so I'm not distracted. Dooby-dooby-doo. Right, standard away team. Let us rock and probably roll 2. There's a Ferengi trader named Madran. Oh, I think we've met. You hired Madran. You bunch of morons. Right. Let us go and speak to this Ferengi. How long do we think it's going to take before we have to reduce him to a snivelling wreck? And it's... Yes, it is you, isn't it? How are things now you're not in the mining business?
You again? Last time I saw you, I had a sweet little mining business on Hifar, and some information brokering on the side. Now, all of that's gone. The mine, the intel, everything. I'm lucky I still have a tooth sharpener. Get out before I call security. Let me guess. Lieutenant Tenenga's complaining again. I stand by my paperwork and my inventory. It's not my fault if the Romulans can't count. They don't have the lobes for business. Look, you can review the cargo manifests yourself and match them to the supplies in the crates. But I'm sure a big, important Starfleet officer like yourself has more important things to do. If you want to bother with it, though, knock yourself out. The terminals in the warehouse have the manifest, and the crates are nearby. I'd help you check, but I have real work to do. Oh, and don't mind the Orions. They're subcontractors working for me. Lots of willing hands to help, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I'm sure. After all, you're hiring Herodian bodyguards, which is probably a necessity when Starfleet away teams barge into your office brandishing shotguns on a regular basis. Perhaps I should have had that holstered. Anyway, well, off to do a little bit of fetch. Now, Madran is a Ferengi of the old school, which means he's going to live down to every single stereotype. And yeah, Orion NPCs. You just know I'm going to end up shooting these guys, don't you? Not sure about the lighting in this place. It's improved from what it was in Tribble, but I can't help but think it would have needed another pass, and ye gods, even Quartermaster back at Space Dock runs a better cargo bay than this. Now, where is... There we go, there's the first manifest terminal. Download. Okay, now there should be a crate around here somewhere. There we go. And compare. Haha! Of course they don't. Why am I even surprised? Hi guys, just passing through. We'll be back to shoot you later if you don't mind. Take a ticket, we'll be with you in due course. Now, what do we think? Will it match? Will it blend? Of course not. And it probably won't blend either, but I don't have a Cuisinart big enough to test that theory. I think there's one down at Deck 16. We were dealing with a load of tribbles in bulk, and I probably shouldn't take that story any further on what's meant to be a PG-rated channel. Right, now where are the rest of these crates? Of course. Yeah. Well, I suppose it makes sense that the launch bays would be properly lit. After all, not being able to see what you're doing around a live impulse engine is a rather bad thing. Okay, now we need a crate. There we go. All very simple. Not sure why I'm waving at an invisible keyboard to look at this crate, though. You'd think I'd pull out the tricorder and scan it. Oh hum. Apparently we're now using tactile interfaces. At least I think that's the name for them. Tactile, that just means touch, doesn't it? Ignore the meaningless management buzz speak. Should be 1, 2. Okay, pop the tricorder. There we go, over the other side. You've got to admit these Romulan shuttles are really useful for maintenance. I mean, if you can work on it by waving at it with your bare hands, that's really a user-friendly design. Nice touch that they've got a hangar bay over here. They could so easily have just left that closed and faked up the lack of a skybox, but yeah, it's a nice working touch. Anyway, next terminal. Doopy-doopy-doo. Tappity-tappity-tap-tap. Tappity-tappity-tap-tap. Okay, now, great. There we go. Not even sure why I bothered with the tricorder for that. What do we think? Of course not. Even my science officer isn't surprised. It's kind of, the contents of the crate don't match the manifest. Dull surprise. Right, so 2 manifests to go, 2 crates to go. Who wants to bet that every Orion in the base turns hostile on the 6th crate? As opposed to the 6th day, which, if memory serves, was a semi-decent Schwarzenegger film. Yes, I'd guessed that. Well, I suppose she's kind of got to report it anyway. After all, I'm Vice Admiral these days. I can't be expected to do menial little things like actually reading the console in front of me. Mind you, I can't read Riansu anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, that's squiggle, squiggle, curve, squiggle. Right, now where's this crate? There we go. Okay, firefighting coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Orions. I was expecting a firefight. Okay, this is just lulling me into a false sense of security, isn't it? Alright, let's go talk to Madran. No, it won't start a firefight in here. After all, Madran's probably too much of a coward, even if he has got half a dozen burly Herodian in the room with him. I make that 2 bodyguards, so a captain, a commander, and a couple of lieutenant grades. Well, this could turn nasty, but...
So, you checked the manifests? And the crates? And they don't match up. I knew I should have gone with you. Then I could have explained that the more valuable supplies are in a secure storage unit. You can't be too careful, you know. Someone might be trying to steal something. Here, let me open the secure area for you. It's at the far end of the warehouse.
I don't trust you. Okay, so secure storage. It's that little room conveniently out of the way. Who wants to bet that room happens to come with extra soundproofing and its own contingent of rather zealous security guards? Yes, this can't possibly go wrong, can it? Ferengi, you'd think they'd learn by now that trying to off Starfleet officers like this never actually works. Scan area. You know what? I'm calling it. This is where the fight starts. Pop your deployables, guys.
Couldn't just leave well enough alone, could you? Nice. Your type are all dead. Now you've gone and upset my Herodian friends, and they want to have a discussion with you. Enjoy.
Well, that was certainly a very useful discussion, although I'm not entirely sure what point of order they wish to raise. Possibly the one about the looters' rights. Now then, I imagine the Orions have gone nasty as well. Oh yes.
I had no choice! The Taushiari controlling my family! Well, they have my assets, and Blackman is like please, have mercy on a humble businessman!
I'd be more inclined to have mercy on the snivelling little wretch if he and his bodyguards weren't actively trying to kill me. I must admit, it's quite impressive, though, given that he started whining for mercy before we've even started getting to him. After all, I mean, we've, ripped out one ambush and a few guards, and he's already whining. I mean, I applaud him for taking the time, but somehow I suspect we're going to have to kill all his employees anyway. Oh well. Such a shame. They could have gone straight, they could have retired from their life of crime, but instead they had to end up as XP fodder for a Starfleet away team. It's tragic, really. Such a waste of potential. Mayor, I'm transferring you to Mako as soon as we get out of this warehouse. Anyone who's that enthusiastic about plasma grenades should not be in my awaiting, especially not if they use them around me. Now then, where's the rest of them gone? I'm going to blame my away team for that one. Yes, if they hadn't charged into that second group without waiting for me, this would not have happened. Yes, quite. And that is what the report will indicate as Starfleet. Now then, where are we? Oh yes, back here. Right, let's go. And try not to jump off any ledges this time, guys. It's most inconvenient when you do. Okay, so what do we have? One active group up on patrol, another one down there. Well, let's whack these guys first, since they are nice and vulnerable. Like so. trigger happy. Okay. Have it and... They've aggroed. Oh, fab. For pity's sake. Ah! Don't believe this! Right. Okay. How many? I think, yes, we had some Orions on the group as well. What a surprise. Okay. Who will perform attack actions normally? Sets all crew to passive. They will. Right. Okay, so how do I stop my... Right option says attack what I go for and nothing else. For that matter, where's the do not simply go loco and charge off into the nearest group of Orions? The AI in this game still occasionally needs some work. Just occasionally. There we go. Okay, now, since he was already snivelling the first time, prematurely as it turned out, a secret passage, no, I think he jumped through the window, if you ask me. One encrypted data file. Huzzah! I don't suppose it's going to have his treasury accounts on it. Probably not. While it's coming! Thank you. And fall over. Up, since right now I'm going through a lot of energy credits. And let's move on. Now then, where is Madran? That shuttle isn't there anymore. Ah, Captain, I believe we've met. Kill him. Fall in the decoys while I'm at it. Oh, fuck! Bah! What the hell? Apparently a kick in the face by a 20-foot Nautican can knock you out. Who knew? Right, now, where is he? Where's the ferret? He's legged it, hasn't he? Oh dear. Oh well, at least he's on a short-range shuttlecraft with a lot of very unhappy starships in orbit. I'm sure he won't get far. Unless it's one of those shuttlecraft models that comes with a cloaking device. So I suppose we better go talk to the lieutenant, who, despite the small war that's just happened inside her own warehouse, is blissfully more interested in her right index finger. I'm sure it's fascinating, ma'am, but you should probably be laying off the slow-mo. Alright, exit the warehouse. So that's the warehouse incident. Still a little rough around the edges, and they've actually changed the plotting since Tribble. It used to be the case that you had to fight Madran's shuttle to stop him escaping, but that was impressively buggy, it has to be said. So it looks like they've opted to just remove the whole encounter and have him get away. Let's see what this Romulan has to say. Madran was working with the Syndicate. Well, the fact that he hired Orions should probably have told you that. And yes, you will have to keep a much closer eye on anyone you invite in. You can start with the Klingons. So, 20-hour cooldown, 10 Romulan marks, a chunk of expertise, although I'd have preferred cold hard energy credits. Unfortunately, those colony supplies we've been coming up with have to come from somewhere, you cheap sod. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Yuzral, and I shall see you next time.